Hello, beautiful people. I hope that you are all doing so well. I hope that you're thriving. I hope that you're taking care of yourself. And most importantly, I hope that you've had a delicious week, a delicious day. Hope you're having an amazing September so far. If you didn't know where you were and who you are listening to, you are here with me in my vehicle outside of my home listening to the Doing Life with Love and Magic podcast. I am your host, Ndwenhle, and this is the space whereby I like to chat shit, where I like to share my life's perspective as I navigate clumsily through my 20s, because I feel like 20s is that time to build the foundation of who you want to be as you navigate through this life. And while I feel like, we grow and adapt and learn, like at any age, we can decide in our 40s that we want to change our lives completely and change who we are completely. We've seen it happen many times, but I just felt like this was the perfect opportunity to just air my experiences and my learnings. And if there's anyone that can resonate with that and can take something away from my experience that I share, that is amazing. And if not, that's okay as well. I think life is too short to be listening to content that doesn't resonate with you. So yeah, that's my whole MO. And if you're down to share this journey with me, then amazing. Hi. Love that you are here and love to be here. Sorry, I just need to for 2 seconds because wow. Okay guys, before we get into the meat and the gravy of what I'd like to chat about today, I just thought let me start off with just highlighting what I've loved about this week and where my energy was at. So this week was period week, therefore I feel like I was very in my own bubble, in my own circle, don't really talk to me. Not really in a bad mood type of way, but just feeling more reserved in a way, if there's anything that I can take away from how I was feeling this week. Just very much in my own space type of situation and not so outgoing and bubbly, just very reserved in a way. So that was kind of the vibe and the energy that I was leaning into this week. And then some of the things that I feel really, helped me this week was just, sleeping. I just feel I've slept a lot this week. I switched up my entire workout program, in the sense that I wasn't really in the mood to wake up at 5 a.m. and go to gym. So a lot of the days out of this week, instead of waking up early in the morning, I was going to gym in the afternoon, just to accommodate the fact that I just felt I needed a little bit more rest before I went into work. And that genuinely did help. It did make me feel a little bit better. Granted, it did fuck up a little bit of my schedule when it's okay, now, as soon as you get home, now you have to pack up your shit. Now you have to, put that aside. And then that takes a little bit more time in the afternoon and not much rest. And some of the other things that I really enjoyed this week was Duolingo. I don't know, but that girl was really doing it for me this week. I was really enjoying learning some new phrases and speaking French. I feel I can't really speak it like this in a conversational manner yet, but when they put the words out for me to word that shit out, then I'm just yeah. Almost said something really stupid and it's very unrelated to what I've been learning, but yeah, and I'm oh my gosh, I feel like a trilingual girly. Look at me speaking French. Granted, this is not a whole sentence, but it does feel pretty good to be learning the longer sentences, and I think that's kind of what was fueling me going back and learning some new things this week. I won't lie, Thursday I think I did go to bed without doing Duolingo, and they made me feel really guilty for that because I'm on 146-day streak or something along those lines. But in the times that I did spend 5 or 10 minutes learning French, it was really amazing and I really enjoyed that. some other things that made me feel warm and fuzzy this week. So yesterday, while I was watching Netflix for the first time in a very long fucking time, guys, I don't watch Netflix, but YouTube has been so boring. Like, all I'm seeing is Nikocado avocado drama and the same old, same old. And I don't want to hash out the Nikocado avocado drama because it's a lot of conversation there, but just very shocking, the transformation that we've seen from him. And it just goes to show, I guess, actually, I don't know, because I don't know how he did it. I don't know the motivations behind why he did it. I'm assuming he just wanted to be a healthier version of himself, which great, but there's like also a lot of speculation as to how he actually did it. Did he do it over a 2-year period? Did he go on a Ozempic? Like, what did he do? Like, and I'm not really willing to watch him to get that information, so that in itself is like a whole other thing. But I don't know, I just feel like YouTube wasn't really doing it for me this week, so I've gone back to my old friend Netflix, and in my description, if you read those, you'll know that I've fallen back in love with like watching Vampire Diaries for some reason. So I don't know, I just feel like I've gone back to watching a lot of things that used to give me some comfort, like back in the DZ, because like yesterday I watched a little bit of Adventure Time. That made me chuckle, and I can't believe I used to watch that as like, okay, I was a young tween, but I used to watch that with my little brother, and some of the themes and some of the shit that they say in that show is like wildly inappropriate. I was like, how were we getting this on Cartoon Network? Like, how how did we get like Miss, was it Tree Trunks out here shaking her booty, trying to seduce like Finn, and being like, Finn, it's not really sexy to call your wife banana. I don't know, like whatever it is that she said, like it's a little bit crazy to me, but I had a great time watching it. Like, it was really fabulous. So that in itself was absolutely lovely, and I really enjoyed doing that. And while I did a bit of that, I actually watched a couple of things on Netflix. I watched Anyone But You, Sorry to Miss Sydney Sweeney. Like, I've watched reviews on it, so I know what it was about, but I actually watched the movie itself, and it didn't really do anything for me. I wasn't feeling very romantically inspired, but like, they look great, her and Glenn Powell, like absolutely gorgeous human beings, but didn't find it like over the top hilarious or whatever. And why am I saying this? Oh, while I was watching like that type of shit, I got into my knitting again. I haven't knitted in so long, and I just really enjoyed sitting down and knitting. So for the past couple of months, I've had this like really cute like pink, white, and like bright pink like wool. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, I'd really like to make something out of it. Like, mind you, I don't really make things a lot. I think I've made one item in my entire life, and that was like a red like off the shoulder type top, and like the arm sleeves were like not the same length, but it was really cute. So I was like, oh, like I'm really excited to try this again. So I was gonna make like a really pink crop top type situation. So I had like made the base of it, and then I was doing the little bra cups of it. So I think I had almost finished off the one bra top. The bra cup, whatever. So I finished that off this weekend, and then I'm in the process of doing the other one. So once I'm done with the other one, then I'll just be putting the whole thing together and just seeing how it sits. So that in itself was like really exciting and really cool and calming. So once that's done, I'm super excited to go back to shopping for some things to make more items, because it's kind of fun and I enjoy it. The next thing, what else was happening in the ethers? So currently, like at this moment in time, throughout the course of the day, I was listening to the Call Her Daddy podcast, and I was listening to the Chris Olsen episode. So just a quick disclaimer, I'm not the hugest fan of the Call Her Daddy podcast, and nor do I know a shit ton about Chris Olsen. I just know that he's a guy that like pops up on my TikTok sometimes, and I think he makes videos with Meghan Trainor from time to time. Don't know a hectic lot of him. I get the sense that people don't really like him that much for some reason. I've never dug into why, nor did I really care that much. And just with regards to the Call Her Daddy podcast, like there's some episodes that it's not like my go-to podcast. It's just like when I'm struggling to find something to listen to in the background, like sometimes it's nice. Like I will always say that Megan Fox episode was one of like my favorite ones to listen to, because Megan was just such an interesting character. So I feel like I kind of gravitate towards it more when she's got like an interesting guest on, and like just depending on the vibe of that person, sometimes a podcast is an interesting one to listen to, but sometimes I just find Alex like very hard to listen to for some reason. I just don't feel like I gel with her energy a lot, but sometimes like the guest is interesting enough for me to kind of like put that to the side and like listen to it. And she's got a lot of great guests that come on. It's just like sometimes I just feel like it's such a shame that she doesn't get into like certain details with them, and like the podcast episode just veers off into a direction that I just feel like, did it really need to go down that direction? Could you have not focused more on this area and unpacked this a little bit more? So yes, it's like a love-hate relationship with that one. But I'm listening to the Chris Olsen one, and it's so emotional. I was like, damn, like this is actually really quite deep. But yeah, I listened to I listened to a podcast, another one. I listened to the Vile Files, which I've never listened to ever, but also that was quite interesting and different from the content that I usually listen to. So that was quite cool in itself as well. So yeah, my dad just gave me such a fright. He was just standing outside and I just saw the shadow of him, and I was like, who is this creepy man like standing there like throwing things outside? But it's just him with his little beanie on. So yeah, that in itself was basically kind of like what my day looked like, just in terms of what the vibes are, what I've been listening to. And then on top of that, I listened to the Bria Jones Because I Love You podcast, and I'm so excited to hear that she's moving on to Dear Media. And on top of that, today I found out that she's actually pregnant, which is amazing, because I feel like literally just today I was listening to one of her podcast episodes, and she was saying how like basically she had a week. It was during eclipse season, and I feel like we're going into like a bit of an eclipse moment as well. But she had said that kind of things were going to shit. She was all over the place emotionally at some point, and she had said her and her husband AJ had said to themselves that they wanted to travel together before they start thinking about like having kids and all of that. And literally I don't know why, I just went to go look her up, because I've never known how old Bria is. I didn't even know that she was 30. But then I looked her up, and then I found that she was pregnant, and I'm like, oh, Bria girl, look at you go. I know that she's also been on this like wellness track, and I think I've been listening to a lot of her content, because even me, I want to be in my wellness bag, feeling my best, being a baddie, being cute, being all the things. And it's just so nice to see people growing and moving and shaking out in the world. So that in itself was like really cool to find out, and congrats to Miss Bria Jones. Love her content, love her personality. I think that she would get on. I think I just love Scorpios, and I didn't realize I did until recently, because Bria is a Scorpio, Katie Crawford is a Scorpio, my brother's a Scorpio. Granted, there's a few here and there that I'm like, not 100% sure of, but like the Scorpio girlies, love them. They're pretty cool from time to time when they're not being problematic. when they're unhealed, maybe I'd like to stay far away from them, but the girls that get it, love them. Very cool. But yeah, So yeah, and then just moving on to like the general thoughts and the vibes lately. So as you know, I feel like it's a recurring theme on this channel. Like, I just really want to be in my health bag. Like, I feel like I could be doing a lot better of a job at being the healthiest version of me. I feel like I stay going up and down. Like, I'm very consistent with going to the gym, but I'd just like to say, I think in the past couple of months, I've like pumped the brakes a little bit when it comes to health and fitness. Like, I want to say in the past year or two, like, I was going hard at the gym, like hard. Like, I want to say working out for like an hour, like 4 to 5 times a week. Granted, I feel like you couldn't really see it, but like, I went through a phase whereby people were like, oh my gosh, you've lost weight, you're looking so skinty, like, what's going on? And I was like, I don't really see it, but okay, if you see it, then great, it must be working. But I just feel like I'm not seeing much of a difference within myself when it comes to that sort of thing. And I also know, like, eating wise, like, I haven't been 100%. I think it's because I'm finding myself like falling into like patterns of, I'll say, for example, when I'm at work and it's been a long day and it comes to like 2-3 p.m., I usually find myself going to our canteen to go get a chocolate, which is not ideal. It's not great. And I'm not saying a chocolate every now and again in the afternoon is a bad thing. Not at all. But I feel like when it starts to become a regular thing and it's something that I feed into, when I notice that I'm kind of dipping energy-wise, I feel like that's when it starts to become a bit of a problem, because now I'm relying on food to kind of like help me get that boost that I need. Whereas I feel like I should be approaching it in a different way, where it's like, okay, cool, we notice that at this specific time, the energy starts to kind of die down. What else can we rely on that's like of nutritional value that can help us get through that like energy dip? You know what I mean? So I just feel like I need to be better at doing that type of shit, and also being very more like mindful and very like tuned in to my workouts when I do them. Because what I'm also finding is that when I'm at the gym, like working out, I'm on a time crunch. So I'm like zooting through this workout when I would really like to be taking my time. Like, okay, if we're deadlifting, we're feeling the entire movement. We're giving ourselves time to go through the motions and like understand the feels. You know what I mean? So that in itself is something that I'd really like to work on, and I just really like to work on my relationship with food. And I think that's kind of why I had mentioned Bria, and that's why I'm kind of like gravitating towards her her content. It's because like I'm just really trying to like understand, okay, cool, what is it that I need to kind of fuel this body? Like, how can I improve my relationship with food in this way? Like, how can we work on our shit so that we can finally get to the space where we feel happy within our body and we loving what we're seeing? It's not to say that I'm necessarily like upset with what I see when I look in the mirror, but I know I could feel so much better and I could look so much better. And it's not to also say that I want to be skinty or anything. I think I've always loved having a little bit of a body curvy type situation. It's just like I want to be within my body. Like, I want to feel so fucking amazing. I want to feel great, and I want to look at myself in the mirror and be like, bitch, you did that. Like, you look amazing. You feel amazing too. And I think that will really come in once I start, like, I guess, being better and being more mindful with my relationship with food. Yeah, because right now I just feel like I'm eating anything and everything that's available to me. And I'm easily swayed when someone is like, let's go get a biscuit. And I'm like, yeah, biscuit. Let's go get a biscuit. And I'm like, this is not necessarily aligned with your goals. Like, yes, you can have a biscuit every now and again. That's okay. But like, overall, babes, let's not be getting biscuits every single day. It's like a bad habit that you are teaching yourself that like, certain time comes around, this is what we're eating. Whereas we just need to think about it a little bit more strategically. So with that comes a bit of a story time. So today I had plans for my life. I was like, okay, cool. I am going to do a little bit of washing from the week, hang my shit up, and then I've been really feeling like I want to be an organic veggie type of gal, and there's like this organic like veggie shop that's right around the corner from my house. So I really wanted to be that girl on a Sunday, go to the organic veggie shop, see what's there, see what the prices are, get a few veggies and call it a day. But it didn't really happen that way. Like, I ended up spending more time doing my washing, and then I got a little bit peckish and I was like, okay, cool, I need to eat something. So yeah, I spent time cooking some sweet potato fries and putting it all together, and with my bulgur wheat and like a little bit of chicken, and then I ate that. And also I was just very mindful of time because I really wanted to join this yoga class at 4:00, and then it was leading into a sound bath as well, which also absolutely amazing, but we'll get to it. So I ended up going to my local grocery shop to get a couple of things, and in mind what I really want for lunch. Like, each week I kind of like sit back and I think about, okay, what's the kind of like food vibe that I want to go for this week. And this week I was really wanting to do like a bagel cream cheese situation with maybe a little bit of tuna, some rocket, like maybe some cucumbers, something along those lines. Like, that's the vibe that I was initially going for. But then I went to my local grocery shop and they only had the plain bagels, and I really wanted like a seeded bagel. And I don't know why, but then those bagels weren't looking that good when I saw them in real life. Like, me and how my brain works, I like to plan things out. So I'll go look on their website and I'll be like, oh, okay, this is what it's all coming to. Cool, it's within budget, we can do it, whatever. So I kind of had to freestyle when I got to the shop. So I was like, okay, cool, what was our other option that we were thinking of? And so I was like, okay, we can get some veggies. I saw that they now have kale, so I was like, okay, cool, we can do a little bit of kale. And I've got some bulgur wheat at home, so we can kind of like put that together. And I've got some organic chickpeas, and I love a good chickpea moment lately, so I was like, okay, cool, we can make like a chickpea salad with some veggies and the bulgur wheats. So I'm out there like looking at the bulgur wheats as well, because like, I don't know, sometimes I just like to look there, and I saw that they had this like bulgur wheat lentil situation like on special. So I was like having a look at that, and then these like 2-3 guys, like I can see them, and like I could see they were trying to make eye contact as I was walking around. But I was like, I'm listening to this Chris Olsen podcast episode on Call Her Daddy. Like, I'm not really interested. Plus, guys, I was literally looking a little bit of a mess. I'm out here with my orange leggings and like a flipping green long sleeve like crop top t-shirt, and I'm wearing like a cream jumper over it, and my hair's in this like bun with a zebra pattern on it, like zebra pattern little scrunchie is what I mean. So I'm like, I'm not looking like a snack. I wasn't leaving the house like trying to look like a snack. I'm like, I need to have something on that's going to allow me to move when I get to the gym. Plus, I was like wearing my Crocs. So now I can see these men are ogling, and I'm like, oh, just leave me alone. Like, I'm just trying to pick a bulgur wheat here. Like, go away. So then now the one of them like sidles past. I could see he's like motioning to try to get my attention. I pretend like I don't see him. And guys, I don't know if it's rude or not, but I just feel like I've gotten to that point in my life where when these random men are out here and about, like, I've honestly stopped trying to be nice to them. I think in my youth, I used to like try to smile and just be like, hi, or whatever. But now I feel like I've got none of that left in me. Not to say that I go out my way to be completely rude to them or whatever. I'll still like greet, but I'm not gonna give you my best smile, because like I feel like sometimes they misinterpret that as you being interested in them, and then that gives them permission to try come on to you and try ask you for your phone number and who you is and what's your name and what's your surname. And me being the way that I am previously, like, I don't know, I feel like my people pleaser ways would like kind of get me to like tell them some of that information, and then next minute I'm giving my phone number to someone that I actually don't want to be phoning me at all, and then I have to like duck and dive them because I'm not happy with the decision I had made before. So like, I know as women sometimes we try and like, it's such a hard thing, because like we try and be like soft and not come off as a bitch, because like what if you come off as a bitch to the wrong person, and then he tries to like try something with you and then it's not fun, but then also you don't want to be too friendly and inviting, because then that makes them think that they've got a chance with you when really you're not even my type, sir, sorry. But anyway, so now I can see he's motioning, one of them, he's signaling and whatever, and like they're very close to me, so I can't even pretend that I can't hear them because they're like right there. So eventually I'm like, hi, and then he's like, hi, and I was like, okay, cool, carry on looking at my bulgarites. And then he's like, yeah, we just like wanted to tell you that you're really beautiful. And I was like, thanks. And then he's like, yeah, that's all we wanted to say. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And then I could see that he was feeling discouraged, and then they walked away. So that in itself was like really orkies, but proud of myself for not trying to like people please and like placate them by being like, oh my gosh, thank you. And because I'm like, okay, what do you like, thanks, like I'll accept a compliment, like I appreciate that, but like what do you want me to do, like fall over you because you told me I was pretty? Like literally I could get that from my dad like when I get home. Like what do you mean? So that in itself was a bit of an interesting situation. And then it was even more awkward because I was pretty much done with my shopping and they were done as well, and then they were going to go to pay, and then I was like behind them, and then they like turned around and they were like, oh, can we please borrow your card to get like the points and stuff? And I was like, oh, sorry, don't have one, because I don't want to give you my shit. Like, no. And then, no. I was like, I don't have one. Meanwhile, it was like in my hand. But yeah, I don't know. Like, sometimes I just feel like I just want to be a bitch because I don't want you like in my space. Like, don't think you've got any chances with me, because again, respectfully, you're not my type. You don't look like someone that I would go for, and you're giving weird vibes. So I don't want that. Like, let me grocery shop in peace. I will say though, it's a bit of a double standard on my half though, because I mean, if that man looked handsome and he was giving something, then it would be a different story. Then I'd be like, of course, let me lower my earphones just to hear your beautiful voice, sir. But anyway, that's besides the point. I'm in no mood for romance, but sometimes I feel like I am. But anyway, so yeah, eventually I got my essentials, and then I dipped, and then I went to this amazing yoga class. And it was like a yoga calm class. Like, you hold the positions for like 3 to 5 minutes. It was so nice. And like, our instructor was so lovely as well. She was so sweet. She was like, have you been to this class before? And I'm like, I don't think I've done a yoga calm. I just thought it was going to be a regular like yoga class. Like, I've done that a couple of times. And then she like explained everything to me. She was so sweet. And then she's like, yeah, I hope that you stay for like the sound bath after. And I was like, girl, that is what I'm here for. That is why I'm here, to relax. And anyway, ended up doing the yoga. The sound bath was incredible. Like, I clean passed out. Like, I promise you, I think I was transported to a different world, because why was I so disorientated when I woke up? I was like, where am I? Like, am I still at the gym? Did they take me somewhere else? Like you could have moved me and I probably wouldn't have known, which is terrifying to think about. But I was like, shit, like, I was like in a deep sleep coma. Like, what happened? Where am I? Who am I? Like, literally. But it was so nice. It was so calming. And she was like, girl, I think you needed this. And I was like, me too. And you best believe I probably will be back there next week. It will require for me to like change my schedule a little bit, like, because it is quite late. Like, we finished at 5:30. So, and then I went to the sauna and like sweated my life out. So, and now it's like 7:00 and I'm back at home, and I still need to like prep my lunch and probably collect all my washing from outside. But yeah, it was just like so nice and so wholesome. And I think it's really cool that I'm trying to dedicate a day like of relaxation and grounding, because I think it's just what I need, like, in the grand scheme of things. Like, I need to dedicate time towards like actually switching off, because like as much as I love doing yoga on my own, like I know that I'll be trying to listen to a podcast on the side, or like watch some fucking stupid YouTube video to distract me from being with my thoughts. So it's nice to have like an hour and some change to actually like sit with my thoughts and like kind of accept whatever emotions come up. Like, there were a couple of times within that class that I felt like I was gonna cry, but I didn't. And like certain poses, like I realized that whenever like I'm sort of like stretching into my hip or something along those lines, like it feels like there's like a bit of emotion that gets released. Like I feel like crying almost. And it's just very interesting to be in those spaces and kind of like observe how certain positions like affect your emotions. And it's actually really cool. It's really nice. And I would encourage you to have like a day of, not even a day, but like, yeah, maybe a day. Like, dedicate a couple of hours within your week to kind of like ground yourself and do something wholesome to get back into yourself. I think like sometimes it's very easy to lose sight of that. And I think maybe that's what I've been missing for the past couple of months, is just like that time to really like come into yourself and be with yourself and do something grounding and wholesome and just good for your soul. And so like I've always enjoyed like when I've gone like a good sound bath. It just helps me feel de-stressed. And I think it's really good to kind of go into the new week with that kind of like new, fresh, like chill energy. So heaven knows that I need that, because this week is quite an intense one. Lots of things are due. I don't know what it is with me and work, but it feels like it'll be calm, and then all of a sudden all of my deadlines are in 1 week, and I feel like I'm severely underprepared to tackle said deadlines. They're all like together within the space of 2 days of each other, and then have to do big things in between. So that in itself is always fun to deal with, and I'm just kind of going to probably sit just now and just really hope that the energy works with me this week, in terms of making sure that whatever I need to get done gets done, but that I don't overextend myself beyond my working hours to get that shit done, because I just feel like that's kind of what it's coming to lately. It's like we got shit to do, so we will spend hours and hours like getting it done because we have to get it done, because no one else is going to do it, right? But at the same time, I just feel like that will also spin me into an unhealthy loop, and I need to fucking stop it. Like, if I stop working at 4:30, 5:00, then that's it. Like, that's where we cut it, and then we go and we do something wholesome to remind ourselves that we are more than just our job. And I think I keep saying it, that's like my reminder to myself. You are more than just your job. What are you doing after your 9 to 5 that reminds you that you are a human? You are a person with dreams, aspirations, things that you like above just this job. Yes, you can love things about your job and you can enjoy it, but how are you fueling yourself when you get back home? So it's little things like that. I guess it's also just focusing on my nutrition and my health and my wellness. The one thing that I will say I'm really excited about on this journey is that I've finally gone back to my matcha. I promised myself that I wouldn't do it because like this month financially it's been a bit hectic. So I was like and eyeing if I really needed a matcha or not, but like my body was screaming for a matcha. Like it was either I was gonna go to fucking whatever and buy a matcha, or I was gonna buy the tin like of powder, and I've been craving the powder with an oat milk and some honey, and I was like literally in tears because I was like I feel like I need this, like my body is craving this, like I want this so bad. Eventually I caved on Friday and I got a matcha, and then I felt happy. And now I've been feeling happy ever since. But now it's got me thinking about all the other aspects of my life. So I've been really shit with taking my probiotics, and honestly I just feel like the brand that I had purchased like I want to say a month or two ago, I still haven't finished those, and usually I finish my probiotics. I just don't like that they're powdery, and I don't like them at all. Like they have digestive enzymes in them, and I think they've got a prebiotic in it, and there's something else that they've got, spirulina. So I bought them because I was like, oh, this sounds great, this sounds cool, but like they're powdery, and I'm like, I don't want a powdery tablet that like I used to chew when I was 5. Like I want a capsule. So I think I found a brand of probiotics that I really want to try, and lots of people rave about them, and like I want to see, will I feel good? Granted, they are a little bit more expensive, I won't lie, and I'm just like, is this really clever to be wanting to buy probiotics that are more expensive when you're trying to keep your costs as low as possible? But like this is like my play money, like outside of like essential, like I know if I need to, like I can cut that out if I want, but I just really want to try it. Like I just really want to be in my health and fitness bag. Like I want to feel good, honey, and I want to look good as well. Like I want to see those ab lines. I want to see those thigh lines. But yeah, that's kind of like the vibes for this week. That's how I've been feeling. I do need to run because I've got shit to do, but I mean I always love talking with you guys, and I feel like I could do it for hours on end, but I just don't think I ever plan my time properly to actually sit down and talk properly. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much about it. What are you guys loving this week? Where is your mind at? What nice thing are you doing for yourself? What are you indulging in for yourself? Like, are you taking a bubble bath tonight? Are you ice rolling your face like when you wake up in the morning because you know it'll make you feel good? Are you making time to meditate? Like, what's your thing this week? What good habit are you taking into the new week? And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Like, if you enjoyed this podcast episode, please like comment, subscribe, do all the shit. Do all the good shit, because I'm really trying to get it out there. I think I'd like to grow this platform. Like, let's get a nice little community going here. Like, if you enjoy my vibe and you know somebody that might enjoy it too, share it with them. Oh, actually, no. Like, I'm actually feeling shy. Don't share it. Keep it a little secret between the two of us, because this is a little secret. I don't tell anyone that I do this, but I'm being for a little secret. Keep it to yourself. Actually, that's our thing. Keep this to yourself, but like it, so that if somebody else wants to join in on the secret, they can. But yeah, don't forget everything that you do, whether it's making yourself a peanut butter jelly sandwich with, I don't know, rosemary on top. Do it with love and a sprinkling of magic. I love you. I appreciate you. You're a wonderful human being. You look good. You look great. And I'll chat to you probably like during the course of the week. I feel like this is going to be a regular thing. You and I are going to start meeting in secret like this. Like, I can tell. I can feel it. But yeah. Chat to you soon. Bye.